Hey everybody, it's Casey Williams. I've got really good news. The future you imagine has arrived. It's the 2022 Kia EV6 GT line. Let's go have a look at it. When I was a kid back in the 1980s, 1990s, it wasn't a Tesla that I imagined as being a future car. It's something very much like this. I love the way this thing's styled. I think it looks really cool. Kia will call it a crossover. Okay, fine. I think it's more like a tall wagon, but it looks really good. I love the aggressive front end. You can tell it's electric. It's super wide, really wide stance. Great in corners, big 20-inch alloy wheels on it. So there are kind of two GTs. There's the GT that does 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. And there's the GT line, as equipped, does 0 to 60 in 5.2 seconds. So this looks like the GT, but it's got not quite as much power underneath of it. But that's all right, it's still plenty powerful. 0 to 60, 5.2 seconds, that works. But back to the style, I just like the way it looks, I like the aggressiveness of it. I like the contours, the curves, the headlamps, all looks really good. Come around the side, and you just get that squat concept car look to it. I really like the roof line, just love the design of the car. Door handles, they go flush when you lock the car. I really like this part here, kind of like this little wing effect, all the black, I like it all, looks good. Come around the back, and this is really where that concept car look comes into it. You have the fastback look, the way it wraps around, the curves, again. I think the designers did at least as good of a job on the interior of the EV6 as the exterior. And the interior looks like it belongs in this car. It looks like an absolute 21st century electric car, very high tech. But it's also kind of like an iPhone, very easy to use and just not complex to operate while you're going down the road. You got the twin screens here, look very nice, these thin screens, gauges here, infotainment on this one, all touch screen, swipe screen, easy to use, I like it. Got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Bluetooth, of course. You got wireless phone charging down here in the console. So again, you're not having to reach down to plug anything in. It's just right here. The phone goes right there. But you got a lot of storage, deep cup holders, deep storage here in the armrest, down below. Some things I think are really cool, kind of besides this fly bridge look that works out really well. These actually change. So I've got the audio controls up right now, proper volume and tuning knobs, which I've always said is, make them nice, make them cool, make them high tech. But guys trying to have a volume and tuning knob. So you might notice there's no climate controls anywhere, just kind of the basics here. But if I press this button, all the climate controls come up. And your volume and tuning now become the dual zone automatic climate control. Each passenger can set their own temperatures. So, some would complain it's a little bit confusing, but you know what? You set your climate control and you forget it. I've got it set on 68. There's no need for me to touch this again. So go back to all the audio settings, and that's all here. So I think it works out fine. It's got a 3-dimensional heads-up display, kind of a widescreen heads-up display that looks like it's floating 10 feet in front of the hood. I like heads-up displays, keeps your eyes where they should be. This one also integrates the navigation system, so those directions come in. Your crash avoidance systems, it warns you up there with that as well. And it does have the full suite of crash avoidance systems, one of the most advanced suites pretty much on any car. So it's got adaptive cruise control, automatic emergency braking, forward collision warning, lane keep assist with steering assist, blind spot warning, rear cross path detection with auto brake. It's got safe exit assist, so it uses the cameras and sensors to keep you from stepping into traffic. It's got the rear seat occupants, so you don't forget your kids. Just got it all. It even has lane centering steering. So you have to keep your hands on the steering wheel, but it'll pretty much do everything else when you're on the highway. It'll turn through the curves and keep a safe distance from the cars in front of you. So I just like the design of the car. I like the heated and ventilated seats. They're super comfortable. The suede, the vegan leather. The controls for them are all up here, so it's very easy to find them. You've got a heated leather wrapped steering wheel as well. I like the pattern here on the dash. It's kind of rubberized stuff, and the lighting down below. It's exactly what you expect, for a car that, has come out in 2022 and is really predicting, the future in 2030 and beyond. This car feels like it belongs in 2030. The EV6 would be a beautiful work of art even if it had a gasoline engine in it, but it doesn't. It's an all-electric vehicle, and it works just so seamlessly, and the range is great. So the range on this particular vehicle is 274 miles, all electric. There are EV6s that have over 300 miles range, but this one has the big tires from the GT line, has the smaller battery pack, so 274 miles, but that's still really nice in this. The other thing this has that I really like is on DC fast charging, you can get from 10 to 80% charge in 18 minutes. That's quick. So it's a vehicle that you can, maybe it doesn't charge as fast as you can refuel a gasoline powered car, but it is fast enough that you can get on the highway, you can stop, get yourself a cup of coffee real quick, car's charged, back on the road. If you do it on a 240 volt home charger, it's an easy overnight recharge. If you plug it into a wall outlet, you're not going to want to do that. It's over 60 hours. So get the charger if you own one at home, or find the DC charger. So that's really good. Kia's just top of class with the recharging. But it's a very smooth, easy to drive car too. And it does 0 to 60 in 5.2 seconds. It's really quick. And just, you know, all you hear is just a little bit of motor whine. You just, being an electric car, instant torque off the line, at 320 horsepower, over 400 pound-feet of torque. Just hit the pedal and go. And I think that's the thing that I've really liked about this car. I like the design, I like all that, but it's just better because it's an electric car. It's easier, it's quieter. If you have the plug in your garage, you take it home, you plug it in the garage, and it's just an absolute joy. Got it on the highway a little bit, drove a couple hours round trip, took my daughter to her grandparents, my parents' house, loaded up her stuff in the hatch. She sat back there, had plenty of space, and it just worked out really well. Some other things the car has, it does have regen on demand. You can press the buttons here to do that, so you can more aggressively recharge the battery. It's also got a drive mode selector, so it's got an eco mode that's more aggressive about regen and makes the throttle less sensitive, so you don't use as much energy. Also does have a sport mode, so you know it's almost trigger happy when you hit the throttle and just take off. So I just really like the way they've set up the powertrain. So by now you're probably wanting to know what this thing costs. Well, the base price for the EV6 is $41,400. This one, as equipped, $57,410. And that's really a fair price for what the car is. But keep in mind, you also get the $7,500 federal tax credit to get that money back. So at that price, it's a really competitive offering. Well, next week we'll have another fun car. Until then, storm forward.